Hello and welcome to my All About Bees YouTube channel. I thought I'd make a short video to promote the one-day swarm management workshops I'm running this spring in Scotland, and I would love to meet some of you in person if you can make it. As I now live in Cumbria, I'm also handy for England and Wales, so if your local association would like me to run a course, please email me for more information. You know, the control of swarming must be the greatest challenge to beekeepers, and I know of quite a few beginners who have given up after just one frustrating season spent chasing swarm after swarm around their apiary. Others battle on gamely, splitting hives when they find queen cells with no real understanding of what's going on inside the hive, or simply knocking down queen cells and hoping for the best. This is a great shame, as your beekeeping enjoyment will be vastly improved if you can control the swarming process in the hive, and with little understanding and practice you can. So, while useful for beginners, the Swarm Management Workshop is a distilled version of an NDB, that's National Diploma in Beekeeping course, so it will also benefit improvers, trainers and those beekeepers aiming at their higher beekeeping qualifications. And if you don't know what the National Diploma in Beekeeping is, then please Google it, but you know it's the highest beekeeping qualification in the UK, something I achieved in 2015 after attaining the expert level. Swarming is like puberty. It's not a very nice experience, but we all have to go through it. To have any chance of going through it without the frustration already mentioned, however, you need to understand what is going on inside the hive and use a swarm control management system that you are comfortable with. If you do this, you will be in control of the swarm process and not your bees, and that will make your life a lot easier for you. So at the workshops, I will share with you what I've learned, including understanding honeybee swarm behaviour, swarm prevention and control techniques, including hands-on practical exercises with empty hives, and I will also cover bait hives and how to safely collect any swarms you may come across. At the end of the day, you will have the knowledge and the techniques to enjoy the swarming season, rather than facing it with dread. Swarming is the honeybee's natural process of propagating the species, but there are certain factors, known as swarm triggers, that bring the swarming process on quicker than normal. And if you have an understanding of this, you can stay one step ahead of your bees. This photo is one prime swarm from one of my hives, which have formed 3 swarm clusters. The reason for this is that as I clip my queen's wings, the swarm will have issued with possibly 3 virgin queens, which is quite common. But once they reach their forever home, you can be sure that only one queen will reign in the hive. One of the main reasons a colony swarms is due to a reduction in the amount of queen substance being passed around the hive. This can be due to an aging queen, who will be producing less queen substance, or due to overcrowding in the hive. Queen substance is a general term for a mix of pheromones, principally from the queen's mandibular glands, but working together with a secretion from the queen's tergite or Rena-Bowman glands on her abdomen, as well as her footprint odour. It is passed around the hive to each worker by reciprocal feeding known as trophallaxis, and has far-reaching effects on the organisation of the colony, both inside and outside the hive. Queen substance prevents the development of the worker's ovaries and inhibits the building of queen cells in the colony. Any congestion would interrupt this process of food transfer and thus act as a barrier in the distribution of queen substance. But this on its own is not the cause of swarming, as it's a complex process and there is no single trigger. At the workshop I will explain in detail all the swarm triggers and tell you what you can do to address them. Rather than just concentrating on swarm control techniques, it's better to have a swarm management strategy in place that dictates how you manage your bees, and this should include prevention and control. Swarm prevention is proactive and is what you do before the bees go into swarming mode, and I will show you exactly what you can do in this respect at the workshop. Swarm control is reactive and what you do once you discover unsealed queen cells, and you must have your chosen control system in place before that happens. You must be fully conversant with it and have all the equipment you will need at your fingertips. Remember, my friends, that if you discover sealed queen cells in your hive, the queen and the swarm will almost certainly have already departed. You also need to be able to identify the different types of queen cells, as they are not all swarm cells, and some of what you think are queen cells are not queen cells at all. Do you know what this is in the photograph? There are two larger type cells in the centre of the photo, but they are not queen cells. The one on the left is known as a queen cup or play cup, and the bees make these all the time, more so in the build-up to swarming, so you should be aware of them. Pay more attention to them when you see the bees have polished the inside of the cell, but this is only classed as a queen cell when you see an egg or larva in it. The right-hand cell is probably a queen cup too, with the entrance facing towards the right so we can't see it. There appears to be 3 queen cells in this photograph, but you will see that only one of them has a larva inside and is being fed royal jelly. This is a queen cell, but without seeing more of the frame, it's difficult to say what type of queen cell it is. The other 2 are not queen cells. The insides are dark, not polished, and may in fact be old queen cells from the previous season. Now, these are classic queen cells, and they are sealed swarm cells, so the queen and swarm will already have departed. This frame looks like it's from the top box of the 2 brood chamber, as their position on the bottom of the frame is very common. These are emergency queen cells resulting from the sudden loss of the queen, often squished inadvertently by the beekeeper. In panic mode, the bees begin feeding larvae that were originally intended as worker bees, and the change in diet results in queens emerging from these cells. You will see that the cells come out at right angles to the comb. They are usually all about the same age, and the bees often make lots of them on the face of the comb. At the workshop, I will go into detail on how you can identify the different types of queen cells and what you should do for each different kind. I will also cover the subject of collecting swarms safely and go through the equipment I have in my swarm collecting kit, which is always in my car during the swarming season. You can see it here. If you want more bees and there are other beekeepers nearby, then a bait hive is the answer. I've caught many swarms in bait hives over the years, and I will show you how to set them up, where to place them, and how to attract swarms into it. So here's the dates and venues of the swarming workshops. To book your place, send me an email to tonyharris316@gmail.com. Any shares of this information will be much appreciated. I'm doing first one at Dalkeith, second one at Moray, and the third one in Inverness. And these are some links for each of the courses that you have to follow. You can book the courses on Eventbrite. So that's the end of this short video. I hope you can make it. If not, I'll be posting more videos soon. And part 2 of preparing for the new season and spring management is going to be up next. Bye bye.